General Moses Ali, the veteran Ugandan military officer, member of parliament for Gimara West, and former first deputy prime minister, has died at Nakasero Hospital. According to a statement released by Captain Mike Mukula on behalf of the family, the long-serving political figure passed away on Friday at 4:25 p.m., while central government officials and NRM stewards immediately moved to frame his death within the context of state stability and national reconstruction. The news has reverberated very differently across northern Uganda. For the people of the Acholi sub-region, the death of General Moses Ali marks the end of a highly controversial political career that was deeply intertwined with the protracted, violent suffering of thousands of families in the contested Apaa area. For over a decade, the 827-kilometer square of land known as Acholi was claimed in Amur district and Jonam district in West Nile has been the site of brutal evictions, burning of homes, and think clashes. To local residents and elected officials within the Acholi sub-region, General Moses Ali was not viewed as a neutral statesman, but rather as a powerful institutional force driving the targeted displacement of Acholi communities. As the most influential political and military figure from the Madi community, his position within the highest echelons of the ruling government gave him immense leverage. Acholi leaders consistently maintained that this power was weaponized to alter the demographic and administrative boundaries of the region at the expense of local Acholi lives. Throughout the years of crisis, the Acholi parliamentary group and regional leaders consistently pointed at General Ali as a principal architect of the crisis, leveling serious grievances against his operations. Acholi politicians frequently accused General Ali of using his political rallies and local structures in the Gimara West to actively mobilize Madi youth and security factions to claim and occupy Apaa, which they argued directly sparked cyclical waves of intercommunal bloodshed. Furthermore, leaders such as Anthony Cole repeatedly alleged that General Ali used his cabinet leverage to shield perpetrators of violence. Whenever individuals were apprehended by local law enforcement for raiding Acholi settlement, it was widely alleged that orders from above engineered their immediate, unconditional release. Because of this, every attempt by the executive to form a committee to resolve the boundary dispute was met with fierce resistance from Acholi stakeholders whenever General Ali was involved. As critics argued, his deep-seated tribal and territorial interest in Germany made it impossible for him to participate in any peace process without bias. In the face of these severe accusations, General Moses Ali maintained a stance of rigid denial. He repeatedly challenged his detractors to present concrete judicial evidence linking him to the orchestrations of violence, asserting that he was merely defending the lawful boundaries of a German district as established by colonial and post-colonial maps. His supporters in West Nile routinely countered that politicians from Amur were simply using General Ali as a high-profile scapegoat to wipe out ethnic sentiment for their own electoral advantages. However, for the victims of the Apaa crisis, many of whom remain displaced, living in makeshift camps or mourning relatives lost to years of violent raids, these administrative defenses did little to mask the grim reality on the ground. General Moses Ali's death leaves behind a massive political vacuum in the West Nile region, but it leaves an even larger unresolved crisis in Apaa. He passes away without even reconciling with the communities that accused him of fueling their misery, leaving the border dispute as bloodied and fractured as ever. As the center government prepares for his state burial, the displaced families of Apaa left watching to see whether his exit from the political stage will finally bring an end to the institutional hostility they faced, or if the structures of conflict he left behind will continue to dictate their suffering. May his soul rest in peace.